Hi everyone, this is AlphaAli. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing okay. So today I'm doing another VOD review. This is for Rose. This is Rose's second VOD. I remember the first one was on New Barney, I believe it was. It was a Masters VOD. This one is once again another Masters VOD. It's actually their Masters 1 game. So it's like very crucial one. Essentially, they've said to me, happy to be back again. Tips for the final push to GM again. Okay, awesome. No worries, Rose. We will get straight into it. Obviously, with the VOD. Once again, you can get your VOD reviews, by the way, you guys. Here for 5,000 channel points. I do them on my Twitch on Mondays, but I also stream on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays too. In case you guys want to see my own gameplay, or of course, you can, earn the channel points there as well, I guess. You're more than welcome to come and say hello to my lovely community, or you can just lurk. 100% up to you guys. So yeah, I've also, by the way, just realised as I was like building up the VOD, we have one of my other little VOD reviewers right here. We have Fluffy. We've obviously, if you watched the channel quite a bit and stuff like that, you will know that I VOD reviewed Fluffy quite a bit. Fluffy is obviously, really lovely and everything. Fluffy is now actually Masters, which is kind of insane because we started VODing Fluffy when they were plat. So if you guys want any kind of like help and tips and stuff like that, more than welcome to. Managed to help Fluffy, get from like plat to Masters so far. So keep it up. Anyways, we're here with Rose anyway, so it's nice to see someone else. We have the Atlantic All-Star skin on. I really like the skin. I think it's like personally like one of my faves, especially with the golden gun. It's one of like the few ones where the golden gun looks really nice with it. And we have a Winston, we have a Tracer, a Sojourn, and a Mercy. So this is a really great like kind of comp for Mercy just to purely prioritize Sojourn, right? Because obviously you can, if Winston's like going nearby to dive to someone, then obviously you can damage boost the dive and stuff like that. But the majority of the time you could literally just like sit with the Sojourn and, just damage boost, obviously help Tracer to peel back. Obviously, help peel for your Honor as well, to and from whenever you need to and everything. But Honor can do a lot of the kind of Winston healing right now, especially on Shambali, especially the first point and stuff like that, because it's so long and stuff. You can just let the Honor heal up. But so we'll just get straight into it, I guess. We'll see what ends up happening. But yeah. Anyway, so as we cancel GA as we get to the point, which is completely fine. I do not like that rotation already, okay? Oh, hold on, I didn't pause it. Right. The reasoning is because, and by the way, bros, I'm going to be like really strict with you in this VOD because I know how like high-leveled of a player you are, right? This rotation, especially doing it this way, is an absolute no-go, okay? It's fine because you want to rotate to obviously, be with your Sojourn, but as you're doing so, flick your head down and away as you're doing so like this to protect your head hitbox as you're doing so, right? So you can essentially just kind of like GA, fly this way, protect your head hitbox while you're doing so, okay? But so keep going. Obviously, nice cancel, try and help Fluffy, which is completely fine. Playing so like the payload kind of like blocks your head hitbox, which is nice. Healing for Fluffy, which is great. Oh, okay, can't do anything about that, that's fine. I don't think that's even a res opportunity, so you go back around, which is really nice. Nice help with Fluffy. I don't like this though, like, what's going to happen is Fluffy's obviously going to back off and Winston's dove and like come back around. So you do not need to kind of like flick yourself up and jump up here, because imagine if the Sojourn just, is like slid back up and has a charged shot like from shooting the Winston, bam, you're dead, okay? So just like, still like play your cover, play down here at this point, okay? My god, your Asia button, it glitches. I've got to get a new controller. Oh wait, is it like, what's it called? Is it like broken or something? Because playing with a broken controller is absolutely horrendous. I had one like at one point where it was like my res button was like a bit dodgy, so I'd be like hard spamming like the res button, like res. But yeah, I mean, Angelic Descent. Oh, okay, so it's like one of the triggers then. I got you. Don't worry. But anyways, keep going. So you're playing around the side. Love how you recognize that she's there though. Really, really nice. So playing under. Nice. Okay, you can leave that healing. Nice. I'm really glad you've actually managed to realize that now. Okay. With the Winston, as soon as he's got that kill, because I like how obviously you're trying to help obviously with like the kill and everything like that. Because he's put this bubble down and stuff like that, you can just allow Honor to heal at this point, and you just fully focus on your Sojourn. Because what's going to happen is people are now going to, like, start to position themselves, so, like, they could either, try and help kill this Winston who's going to be 1 HP, or will be backing off, right? So you want to be, like, pushed up with your Sojourn right now. But anyways, obviously you're helping Winston, which is okay. Damage boost. Whenever Winston jumps in like this, just damage boost him. Like, because he will get obviously damage from the jump and then damage like from the like electrocution thing, whatever he does, right? Obviously there's that, right? Like how you're healing here though, which is like nice. And now we're going with Sojourn. Really, really good. Anti, so that's fine. Flick over to go and help. Nice. The same thing again, obviously you want to drop behind cover as quick as you can, but I think that's your controller. I think this Valk is too early. Okay, let me rewind. Because I understand the Valk, but I feel as though we're being a little bit too, what's it called? I was spamming, trying not to have this ends on. Yes, like, what's it called? You just end up like, because I feel as though you want to drop quickly and then you're just not, you're just flying. So I think Rose's first thing that I would give to you as advice is get yourself a new controller if you can. Definitely get yourself a new controller. Right, anyways, so what we're doing here. So we help to fly him with Winston. Right. At this point, this Valk is too soon. Because like, Fluffy could help heal this Winston right now. You can literally just sit here and just damage this Sojourn. You want to Valk when Winston has his jump and wants to go in aggressive to the team. Because right now, the enemy team isn't being aggressive into you. No, you've just killed Bastion, okay? So they're 4v5. They're not going to be thinking, rah, let's like, let's come in kind of thing. They'll actually be backing off, trying to like, recuperate, trying to get themselves as healthy as they can, ready to take the fights. Probably when the court turns this corner or like gets more towards the point and stuff like that, right? Your team is also not aggressing in because your Winston has already used his jump to kind of like get forward, like to kind of around here and stuff like that. So hold off on your Valk up until you know your Winston wants to jump in and be aggressive. At that point, follow up on your team's aggression and use your Valk. Okay, but anyways, we'll keep going. You know that you use your Valk a little bit too early here. I don't like your positioning here either. Like, just playing out in the open out of that bit. Leave Winston now. Okay, I feel as though our priorities were a little bit off in this Valk, and also our position was a little bit off, okay? Let's quickly go back. So, we pop Valk, okay? At this point, can you see how you're already taking damage for this this Alari, right? You popping Valk here is obviously, we talked about it and everything, but if you want to pop Valk, we have to play our cover. So play back around this section here, because you flying about just completely in this open bit. If the Sojourn suddenly decides to peek, if the Sojourn decides to peek, or if like the Alari starts to peek and everything like that, they're just going to start spraying you down, because look where you are. You are like in absolute prime spot to shoot, right? So I think either play a bit further down or play, play around the pillar. Probably shouldn't play Calm first game on. I mean, some people do it. Some people just queue in like straight away and have the confidence to, which I did today and we lost. But I think if you feel like you need to warm up beforehand, I think definitely go into like a Mercy parkour or something beforehand, or like do a quick play game or something like that. If you feel really confident, then go straight into it. But yeah, so you want to be playing around this pillar basically, right? Okay. And then we notice that Winston's going to jump in, which is fine. You damage boosted him. Okay. As soon as he gets antied and is like this, basically, okay? You now have to think to yourself, is this Winston going to survive? Yes, if he has Primal, in which case you don't need to be focus him when he's in Primal. Or he's just going to die, okay? So it's fine you following in with this dive in, but as soon as he's done that dive in, go and help your team. Like, because at this point you can get 3 people to like start shooting the Sigma and stuff like that, okay? So we keep going. Going onto the team. At this point, just damage with your Tracer, because your Tracer can get around the Sigma grasp a little bit easier than what you can. And then we end up kind of like flying up to that window. Once again, don't fly up to that window because you don't know whether like people have moved and then started playing at the window and stuff like that. So if you need to back off to under here, or back off to like one of the rooms across from me as well. Okay. But you end up capping it, which is nice. Using your movement. Can't help Tracer there, which is fine. Like how like you didn't do any like kind of fancy tech there though, you just like stopped your GA. Really, really nice. Help you Tracer out. Nice. And then just head to point, I feel like. Yeah. I agree with the healing here. I really agree with the healing here, right? Now, normally I would say don't heal. The reason why I like your healing here, though, is because your Honor has ults, right? If Ana did not have ult, I would say save that for Ana, right? Because because you don't have your ult, but Ana has her ult, this is completely fine for you to heal because it's going to help you get your Valk up a lot quicker, okay? So I like that decision making by you, really nice. They're playing around the pillar, which is very, very nice. Helping Winston again. Just be careful of that top window now. Yeah. You see how the Sojourn's like, what's it called? You can see how the Sojourn like is, you kind of like hero. And a lot of times as well as when Winston's like back off, or like any kind of like dive hero backs off from this area, someone will start claiming it. And in this case, it's the Sojourn, right? So as soon as that Winston backs off, you now have to think to yourself, okay, I have to be prepared. So either play back off here, or what I like to do is like, what's it called? I like to kind of like back off and then play here. Because I can still like jiggle peek and also like play around this pillar like this. And it also allows you like to still kind of like stay with your Sojourn, especially with like how far the cart's been pushed up and stuff like that. We try to do it more often, save the charge for other support, yes. Which is 100% what you should do, because in my opinion, Mercy's Valk is actually probably the weakest support ult actually, because Life Weaver's Tree is actually quite good now. So I think unironically Mercy's Valk is actually probably, don't get me wrong, like it's still an amazing and strong ult, like I'm not saying like it's a horrendous ultimate, it's still not a very strong one, okay? So I think definitely try and get, you know, Bap his window or anyone else just their ultimate, okay? But anyways, we back off, try to help Ana. I wouldn't have slingshotted as far as we did. Yeah. This slingshot should have just been like to down here-ish instead. So you're out of LOS of the guys up on here, and you can also like keep your beam onto your Ana. And then what you could do is, because what it'll do is you can get your Ana out, and then you can slingshot yourself into this like window and stuff. So just try and stay with your team a little bit more if you can there. Bezos helping Tracer. At this point, I would just be looking to kind of like head back to like your Sojourn and stuff that should be respawning now. Like, what you can do is, like, throughout this entire period here, because what happens is your Tracer wants to be a little bit sneaky, get her blinks back up, and then, obviously, you know, go in kind of thing. So you, essentially, at this point, this is fine, you know, you backing off and helping heal her. Once that's done, though, back off this section and go back with your Sojourn to allow your Sojourn to keep adding pressure and stuff like that. See what I mean? I tried to... The all-ram, it wasn't working. Wait. Is it like this bit where it's like... Oh yeah, I know what you mean. It's just casually just always on. That's... It's either your trigger is broken, or I cannot think why it's constantly on. What button do you use for Angelic Descent, Rose? Do you use a crouch? Do you use crouch, or do you use like a trigger, or what? Because if you use crouch, I might know why it's not doing it. But if you use like the res button or like your jump button, my gel says if A or LT, are they, what's it called? And none of them are crouch. Just for clarification, because what I found is dependence on your crouch, I feel as though that affects it. I haven't fully tested it, but I know that depending on what crouch button you use, can really affect kind of what's it called. How it, no jump and res. Okay, then yeah, it's what's called. It's your controller then, because it shouldn't be what's called. It shouldn't be like being weird like that if it's like that. But anyways, just kind of end up playing with that. But anyways, so as I was saying, we should be trying to kind of like play with Sojourn, which is what we end up doing now, which is really nice. Loving all these like cancel GAs, by the way. This is really, really nice to get into the habit of. I do not like this rotation though. Okay, rotate. Just rotate into this room with your Sojourn and your Ana, right? Who is your main blue beam target in this comp? It's your Sojourn, right? You pushing up like this is not going to help anyone right now, because at the moment your Hog isn't close enough to help do anything. Your Tracer's not close enough to do anything, right? So you do not need to be up with your team to help damage boost any of their abilities. The only people that can do like stuff right now is your Ana and Sojourn. So you play just back here and in this room, because you can still reach these guys, and you can also still damage boost your Ana, and you can still damage boost your Sojourn, right? Now, obviously, what's gonna happen is obviously your Ana sleeps this Rhine. At that point, then you can rotate, because obviously there's like no like damage, and no like threat, I guess, basically. But just be really mindful of this high ground and stuff, because a lot of the times hit scans could just track you like really easily from there. But it is obviously helping out, which is fine. We're helping Anna here, which is completely fine. This is the same thing again where your Valk's too early. Valk should be like now. Right? Let me rewind because I want to show you why. So we talked about this, which is fine. Is your team engaged or nearly engaged into this team fight? No. Because the only person that is your Tracer, who will have recall, who has health packs all the way onto this inside and stuff like that. And also you popping Valk right now is not going to be able to get your beam straight onto the Tracer, right? So you're popping Valk for these three. Who out of these three is engaged in the team fight right now? Nobody. Because Hog can't do anything because Ryan's got a gigantic shield that's in the way and he's not close enough to do good enough damage. Anna doesn't have an LOS right now because she's been trying to heal Sojourn and is playing here. Sojourn doesn't have an angle because the only angle that she has right now is a Ryan shield. So you have to hold off onto your Valk up until you know your team is wanting to be aggressive, which is when they walk forward, which I'll show you when you should pop it. Now is when you should pop it, because what's happened is Ryan's pushed forward. Hog now has a angle to hook people from. Sojourn now has that charge shot and is pushing it a little bit more than what she's been doing. Pop your Valk now. Very nice heals. Also playing really far back. Same thing again, I don't like that jump up. If you want to rotate to here. In your Valk like this. Just so you're not in LOS of that Sojourn once again. Lovely ultimate, by the way, from your Sojourn. Really nice. And we end up winning the team fight, which is really, really great. Nice little moment with your team, I guess. That's really, really nice. We did end up using quite a few ults though, but to be honest, I'm quite glad that we did. So I would still play back here. Play back with your team. Okay. I feel as though at this point we're a little bit weird right now, right? So I feel as though if you want to help Hog with his damage boost and hooks, you need to be up there now with him. Because what ends up happening is he ends up using this hook. And obviously he doesn't end up hitting it. But imagine if he hits someone and you have that damage boost ready on him. That is such a good pick off and they don't have a Mercy to res it, okay? So if you want to, if you want to be there to damage boost that hook, then you have to be there early on, okay? I'm not used to high masters low GM lobbies. I was still adjusting back. That's alright. Don't worry about it, Rose. Okay, this rotation is the weird one that I don't like, okay? You, at this point, just need to rotate, because what's happened is Hog's used his hook, he's not hit anyone, now on a cooldown, he just has to back off and play safe, okay? This is what you also should be doing, okay? You literally just GA and GA back to play all the way back here, and just play with your Sojourn. Because what ends up happening is you then kind of like do this like weird GA to go and help your Honor, which bearing in mind as well, I would wait until Bastion's used his free like ultimate kind of things, or like started using them before you GA. Ends up being nanos, lovely, you know, cover. Then you end up backing out because she gets like 3k, which is completely fine. That's obviously you're heading down. Just make sure you're crouching because you can still hear your footsteps and stuff coming down. And just wait here. That's how you get your Glock out as well. But whenever you're doing that, get your Glock out and just what's it called? Just crouch. Then high damage for the majority of the season, which is completely fine. Do not worry. Like, I feel as though, Rose, you're holding your own in this, like, what's it called? In this, like, thing, definitely. I don't like that rotation, though. Nice, okay. At this point, what's going to happen is your team is wanting to push in. So you do not need to back off to then come back into here with GA later, right? You can literally just kind of GA yourself in to get that damage boost onto the Hog and then come back out and just play back here. Because then it allows you to still be ready and pushed up, ready for your team to come through because you're completely safe here. So just stay here, okay? We'll keep going. Obviously, rotate with Sojourn now. That's completely fine you rotating there because I thought Sojourn was going to go flank, she didn't, so that's fine. Nice. Nice damage boost onto Sojourn. I don't like this, like, just don't do this random super jump. What's going to happen in, when you get a lot higher up is people will really focus on when you're using your GAs and your GA cooldown a lot more, right? So you doing random little super jumps like this that are getting you no better cover, that you're just doing them randomly, will get you picked off at some point. because these like random mini super jumps increases your GA cooldown considerably, when you can literally just do a cancel GA, or even better, you could just stand here, like in this kind of scenario, you could literally stand here and save that GA up until you desperately need it. Because sadly, as Mercy now, compared to Overwatch 1, where you could just, you know, like, use GA every like 1.5 seconds and stuff like that, now it's like, you have to be like really kind of focused on like when you use your GA. So try to just hold off from doing like little spam GAs like that, and really think about when you have to use your GAs. Nice damage boost into the Hog, obviously helping heal him. Really, really nice. Helping damage boost his whole Hog, which is fine. I like this rotation. Just obviously be careful when you do this rotation. You have to kind of like, what's it called, hug this wall. Because you standing here is putting you in direct LOS of the Sojourn, right? So this is fine, you're doing that rotation. Just play around here. I used to be able to get away with them in Diamond, yeah. Which you will not now, Rose, okay? You have to be extremely strict with how you use your GA. Okay? But play just around here. Alright, nice. Obviously play with Sojourn behind. Ooh, okay. Let me rewind this. Because I don't... Okay. So this gets whole Hulk away. That's fine. Nice damage boost. Okay, I want to watch this in this perspective. You need to help your Sojourn here. This play was awful? Yes. Yes, Rose. I'm glad you've realized, okay? You need to either ping to your Sojourn to let her know that I thought they could res before they could react. That's completely fine if you do it instantaneously. Like, if you're right next to the orb, say the orb's like here and you're stood here, that is completely fine if you just res automatically, because that is like good, okay? At this point, because he's just died and you have to GA across like this, you are not going to get this off quickly, right? You have to stay with Sojourn now and stay with the aggressiveness of your Sojourn. Because what's going to happen is, so you're playing like around here, which is fine, okay? Ryan cannot help with this 1v1. He's just going to walk onto these guys. In which case, you know, Tracer has blinks to get away, and Fluffy has, like, what's called, can have TP and can TP into, like, you guys, or TP to Tracer and stuff like that, right? At this point, you have to commit with your Sojourn, and you hope and pray that she wins this 1v1, okay? Because if Sojourn wins this 1v1, she will obviously, you know, have charge shots. She will also, like, have the confidence to then go and push these two supports, because Ryan has been committed and, like, gone in, like, really aggressively, okay? You do not need your tank up, like, 24/7, okay? Because it, like, you have to kind of like focus like when other people are being aggressive. Right now your Sojourn's being aggressive and needs that help. So you essentially just need to kind of stay here, damage boost, play with them. Other people have abilities, so that's fine. You know, let them do their own thing to survive. So we're going res. Anyways, Sojourn is again knocked out as we do so. We end up kind of flying in with our block, which once again I don't really like. But can you see how now we've ended up losing the team fight because we've abandoned our Sojourn to go and do that res? Anyway, nice obviously going to damage boost Kiri again now. Damage boost Kiri. Maybe we might have DC'd or something. I think that's a DC, so I'm not going to go too hard on you that bit. Exact same thing again. We're popping back way too early. Okay? Like, I wanna like really think, I want you to like kind of sit there, Rose, and think to yourself, why am I popping back? Okay? So right now, why are we popping back? Right, I'll ping it, okay? I'll stop it when you get to it. Right.
Heroes never die.
Why are we popping back? You can get just as much value by either GAing to your Sojourn or just playing with your Hog here, okay? I think the play here is to play with Hog until your Sojourn gets to slide in and being aggressive, okay? That's fixing my back pain. Okay, I was wondering why you stood AFK. But anyways, so, okay, at this point, right, you either want to be damage boosting Hog and being with him and damage boosting him to be aggressive, or UGA out to your Sojourn. I think the best thing is to stay with your Hog here, though, to be honest, and wait for your Sojourn to push in. Once people push in, now would be the time to pop it if your team needed it, because you do have the Kitsune rush up, and you should try and not try and stack ultimates if you can. All right, but I'm gonna keep watching. See what we end up doing. Obviously pushing damage boost and stuff. Nice heals. Needs to commit with Soldier now. Shouldn't have sliding in. She's getting really crit. Look how you're playing out the way though. Really nice. Nice res. Obviously we had to do a little super jump with it. You don't really need to do the super jump there, but like it's still nice. Let's get the pylon as you back out. And we don't cap it. Really, really nice. So I think at the moment, Rose, like the things that you're struggling with, because your healing and like damage boost is really, really great. Can't do anything there, that's fine. Nice helping your Tracer. Your Tracer could have blinked to the Mega, by the way, but I don't know what I shouldn't do. Your main thing is your Valks. Like, I want you to kind of like, not hold off too much on your Valks, but I think definitely wait until you can see your team, what's it called, wanting to aggressive before you use it. Okay? I'm just trying to damage boost the whole sorry, the thing. Ooh. What are we doing? What are we doing? I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. I see if I can have ultra as possible. I mean, fair enough. Right, okay, let's okay, so we're back out. Okay, yeah, it's just use pin, that's fine. I was like waiting to see like if he was, what's it called, if he see he was low. Yeah, this is a great time to pistol. You saw that he used pin, and I just wanted to quickly check that he had used the pin beforehand. But very nice. I do actually like that. That's very, very great. I was checking that he like had used pin, because obviously you flying in there and he would have pin, you'd be like dead. But like, no, really, really good initiative on you there. It's really, really nice. Obviously heal up Tracer. They were nice. Nice. Okay. Another random super jump. Why we're super jumping here, okay? We do not need super jump here because we end up taking, you know, peeking all these guys that are going to be respawning from up here. You can literally just kind of like still play back here and just play with your Sojourn, okay? Your Hog does not need you right now. Your Hog is like completely fine. Nice, obviously, you know, playing out the way. Really nice movement there. Now pop. That's a much better vault. The reason why this is a much better Valk than the other one is because you know the enemy team is going to be wanting to push in, and you want to stabilize your team. This is your best Valk so far. This has been great. Okay. Love how far back you're playing though. Just once again, just try and like make sure you're still playing that cover a little bit more. Nice Valk though. That's been your best Valk so far. So, like literally, just main thing at the moment is literally work on your Valks. Work on Valk timing, because you know like who you should damage boost and stuff in your Valks and stuff like that. But I think definitely we just need to, what's it called? We just need to like know when to Valk right now, okay? But we'll keep going. Oh, we'll start with like the little super jumps and stuff as well, because there's been a few times where you've done them. Now just like stay on the ground. Like I know it's not fun, but like at the moment you have to kind of just play like ground Mercy unless you need to. Okay, so we've heard of Sombra, at least I hope you have. So just obviously, you know, we need to be careful of that now. That's fine, you can, you know, hopping over the wall to like try and help your Sigma. Nice, topping up Kiri. Lovely. Lovely. You're lovely, like Jane as far away as you can and using your cover. Really, really nice there. That's fine, help. You can let Kiri heal that. That's okay. Okay, I don't like this rotation though, okay? I feel as though now, because you know they have this Sombra, right? You now have to be prepared for this Sombra. So instead of just playing completely out in the open where she could just go, hey, hey, and there's, you know, start hacking you and stuff. You now need to kind of like reposition yourself. Maybe play around in this cover here. So if she hacks you, you can like walk forward or like walk over here or something like that. Maybe play around this kind of side of the pillar a little bit more aggressively. If she hacks you, go around here. But I think definitely we need to like play a little bit more. J-Bugger happened. Slingshot wouldn't activate. Okay, hold on.
Come here for healing.
think it's because you pressed it. I don't think it's either you pressed it too late or it just didn't randomly happen, right? Because what ends up happening is you end up kind of like GA. Oh, I think it's because you end up bunny hopping out of it. I think maybe because I think you end up kind of like hitting, like tapping this bit, which like makes you do the bunny hop instead and hopping down here. But in reality anyways, we could have maybe been more prepared by that by playing in this room or playing around the pillar. Just so like, it's fine like kind of baiting around, like playing around here, but as soon as you know that she's going to, what's it called, hack you and stuff, you can just head around this cover and stuff like this, okay? Just so you're being prepared. Like you're one step ahead of the Sombra, okay? Because you playing out in this open is just gonna, like, you know, not be great. Now, the reason why I don't like this rotation forward is because you're now rotating into the enemy team. Like, you're rotating into, like, if these guys were a little bit more pushed up forward, you're dead. You're absolutely dead here, okay? So you just want to play that cover a little bit more. But anyways. Fine, so it's getting picked off. You cannot res that. Nice rotate up to be on the roofs. Really nice. Helping Kiri. Beautiful. Really, really, really great here. Ooh. We need to try and stay up on this high ground, though, if we can. Or we need to head back to Sojourn. Because we know that this Sombra is still here, and nobody really shot the Sombra, so she's still going to be around and, like, you know, being with us, right? So let me just quickly rebind it. So, you know, so we end up losing Sojourn. I would have literally just rotated back up to her. But, obviously, Tracin's getting picked off, which is fine. We super jump on to go into the high ground, which is completely fine, you know, helping there. Right, it's this point, okay? We now either need to use our Kiriko to GA over to here, or if you're in beam range of the, what's it called? Oh, sorry, in range of like the GA to your Sojourn, you need to do that. Or you need to stay up onto this roof. Because you know this Sombra's still going to be here and still active and stuff like that. So yeah. Makiri abandoned me and we got overwhelmed. It's not so much abandonment. I'm gonna be honest with you, Rose, because your Kiri now needs to help this Sigma, who's obviously, you know, gone in to go and pressure this Kiriko and stuff like that. So you do need to like try and help. You essentially need to work on your own survivability here and either go up onto this roof or go into GA to your, what's it called, to your Sojourn. Nice, obviously, you know, you rotate to go and get heals, but sadly it's not going to be enough, which is unfortunate. I know she did now, but I wasn't prepared for it, which is completely fine. Like, try to think to yourself, instead of, like, your team, what I feel like you're playing like now, Rose, is, like, you're being too, how do I put this? Like, you're being too, like, scared about your teammates. Like, oh, because they're going to fall over, right? You're in Masters now, right? So people are going to be a lot better at, like, keeping themselves up and knowing when to back in and out, right? So now at this point, because people are going to be a lot more aggressive onto you guys as well, you now essentially need to put your own survivability first. Put yourself first before trying to help others, because that's how you will survive and get the most out of your team, like, out of it. So when I first woke up at like 5 AM, so I was like, oh, never ever queue at 5 AM, Rose. Honestly, I'm going to be honest. Like, but sorry, I like the idea how you just wake up at 5 AM and think, oh yeah, I would play Overwatch. I love it. Anyways, don't rotate around there. You can just stay in the room. Because if you stay in the room, then you avoid all of this. Yeah. You see how, like, you're too busy trying to help your Sojourn and you end up kind of losing your own survivability, right? You just need to put yourself first throughout this whole thing, right? So, GA forward, helping out on point, right? At this point, stay in the room, okay? Stay in this room. Sojourn peeks forward, she goes out. That is fine. You can still stand in this room. Oh, she starts backing off. That's fine. I use the room, and you can wall bounce out here and stuff like that, right? At no point do you want to walk forward here, because once again, you're walking forward into the enemy team and stuff like that, right? Still stay in this room. Be aggressive with your Sojourn. If she backs off, bam, out here. So you're playing out safety. Okay? Because what ends up happening is you use your GA now to, like, try and get out, and now you don't have a GA ready for when this Sombra attacks you. Because what would happen is if you had this GA ready and you were playing split from your Sojourn, you could GA yourself into this room, or even better, you're still in the room, because this room is a beautiful room, and we love this room. This room is unironically one of the best in, like, what's it called? In the especially for, like, defense and stuff like that. This room's really, really great. So you can still stay in the room And then just like use the room to block LOS to the Sombra. Okay? But we'll keep going. Obviously you do end up getting picked off here. Which is completely fine. Feels like Kiri's gonna end up picked off as well. Yeah. This is fine. This is probably gonna be a team fight loss for you guys, I'm gonna be honest. Like, that Zarya is really high charged. And you've lost both supports. So it's fine. Hoping people back out. Please back out. We didn't back out enough. That is what we should have done earlier. Literally on first point, do that exact thing with the room. That is exactly what you should have done. Because you stay safe. Okay? Don't like this rotation though, because like, yeah, you end up kind of getting yourself a bit split, okay? And we'll split again, okay? Your priority now is to stay with Sojourn. So what happened is, sorry, let's quickly rewind it back, so I want to kind of like see where you were. Okay, so Sigma dies, that's fine, can't really do about that. Okay, we do this lovely wall bounce. Love it, okay? At this point, stay where you are, okay? Because where is Sojourn wanting to attack from? Where is Sojourn going to get her ultimate from? Where is Sojourn like going to do the damage? Either this or main. And at the moment, she's walking away from main. So she's wanting to attack here. So keep that in mind and play up here with you, okay? Play up here with her. Because what ends up happening is you end up missing out on so much damage boostable ability because you end up doing this. You end up GAing up once again really randomly, getting yourself out, like, you know, out of the way, which is really, really great and stuff like that. But now, you see how much like damage boost you're missing out on with your Sojourn because you're too busy trying to back off to your team when you don't need to. You could be with your Sojourn for this entire scenario and be getting in and like trying to get a pick here, okay? So just try and do that. Nice obviously cancel the GA. Kiri ends up falling, but you can res. We were a little bit too slow on the res here. Let me because I feel as though once it's a movement thing. So we rotate around the back, which is nice, really nice and safe and stuff like that. This is fine. You're going to go and help your Sojourn now, okay? Obviously, just be careful of that center bit. We cancel our GA because obviously we don't pick Kiri. Right. It's this rotation. If we want to res, literally walk forward and GA to Sigma. Because you, once again, you're doing this like kind of like super jump upwards and then gliding yourself over here. This is like you super jumping up and then gliding yourself out here is putting you directly in LOS of all these guys once again, okay? All you could do here is literally either back yourself away from the Sojourn and like do a slingshot to get over there, or even better, you can just like back off over here, go to your Sigma, or you can do the risky option of like going forward here. Because you're quite like high HP and also there's like a Sigma shield here, I think definitely you could just like GA it here, res, and then you could just GA yourself back to the Sojourn as soon as you can, okay? Because you end up losing like a lot of HP by doing that. But it's nice obviously you're playing your cover. Be aggressive. I'm hoping you're going to be aggressive. Okay. Let me rewind this because I want to talk about this a little bit more, okay? So I like how you're being aggressive with your Sojourn here because I see so many Mercies not wanting to be aggressive with the Sojourn, okay? So I like how you want to be and you're going to help her with your ultimate. Really, really great. The only thing is while we're doing this as well, we need to think about our own survivability, okay? So what's going to happen? Sojourn's going to go slide into the back line. So we just don't want to be kind of sliding in and then just like GAing and just like playing around here. Because you are completely in their back line and they're going to turn around. They're going to like be like, rah, and you know, like come after you and stuff like that. So these guys are all going to turn around and they're going to think, oh my gosh, there's like a Mercy that stood here, right? If you want to help and follow up Sojourn here, you need to GA and you need to play around here. And play out in safety and stuff like that. So that means that when these guys turn around, you can still help the Sojourn kill the Solari, but you can also like still play your cover and be out of the LOS of this soldier visor that's going to like be happening, right? What's happening is like you kind of like GA in and then this visor happens and you're like, oh my gosh, it was okay, like obviously, you know, trying to get the best scenario, like trying to escape and stuff like that. But it could have been avoided if we literally like just GA'd and played in that little bit of cover and stuff like that. Played out of the way and used it. Alright? But as we keep going, so we're gonna respawn and stuff. Hopefully you guys are gonna like head back out. We have Valk, so hopefully we're gonna get some better Valk time in this time. Obviously same thing, we just need to use our cover. I do not like this Valk again. I'm sorry, Bruce. I feel as I'm just like destroying like all your Valks right now. But it's another one where it's like you don't really need to Valk, okay? So let's go back. So we're with Sojourn. I do not like you rotating and just like standing out here because once again you're in LOS of that soldier and stuff like that. If you want to play aggressive, you jiggle peek around here, or you can like GA and play in this mega pack where like the Kiriko is and stuff like that. Okay, your Sigma is fine right now. He's got like Kiriko healing him like from here and stuff like that. Like, and he's also got his grasp. He's like living life. He is fine. Okay, I've got habit and citrus in my bag because of cooldown. Yes, which I feel as though is what is causing you to have these issues. It feels like you see Valk, you're like, oh my gosh, Valk, and then you just pop it, right? Hold off onto it as much as you can, okay? So what ends up happening is you end up popping this Valk. I would have popped Valk now. Okay, let me talk about how I would play the scenario. I would have played with my Sojourn here. I would have GA'd into this Mega and stuff like that, and like played in here, because remember, you have this like, oh, it is hacks, but like, usually you have this Mega in here. But also, like, obviously you have your Kiri to protect you and play around here. Kiri can happily help your Sigma right now. So you could just play back here and play here, right? EMP goes off. Okay, that's awesome. But you're playing in this room. So you are completely out of LOS of it and you're completely out of the way of it. You're not going to get picked off by that EMP. So you're more than happy to play about and stuff like that. Now, I would not pop Valk while there's still EMP'd and while still the EMP's, like, being active. Because obviously, you know, say for instance, the all 5 and decides to really hard target the Sigma and stuff, he's gonna be like, yeah, God, he's on the floor like dead, right? So essentially, you like, what's it called? You essentially like, want to just keep half an eye on him, okay? And if the EMP wears off and then he's still like here and still, you know, doing really well, you can then pop your Valk and then start, you know, what's it called? Helping him. Use your extended beams to help your Sigma and try and help stabilize this fire, okay? You end up doing that, which is quite nice. He ends up falling because he used Kitsune. I would literally just stage, like, what's it called? That's fine. Nice how you not get yourself staggered here, though. Once again, I would literally, as soon as your Sigma falls and stuff like that, you flying in is going to not help at all because you can't stall the point because it's not an installable spot. And also, you're just going to be flying into a Kitsune rush, right? So, literally, I would just play, like, back with your team. All team gets, like, picked off. That's completely fine. You did the right thing of what's called. Looking for the res. I'm gonna be honest, when they pop that Kitsune rush, you are not gonna get that res off. I'm sorry, bros. But it was nice how you're looking for it though. Do not get me wrong. Just try to look to see if you can do the res before you press that J button and try and get in, okay? But let's keep on going. Yeah, no, it's alright, bros. Don't worry. Anyways, keep it going. Obviously, nice how you're playing your cover around here and stuff like that. Completely fine. Same thing again with like the random GA up, we don't need to, just play your distance. Here is TP'd in, which is fine. Same thing with the random super jump, we don't need to. Like, just try, once again, just try and like really stop yourself. I can see that Angelic Descent thing as well now. I've said it really clearly, you know, when it's like, it's not letting, like, you know, not stopping itself, right? So I think definitely just, you know, look into get a new controller, Rose, that's what I'm saying. So we'll stop doing it. But anyways. And I feel as though it's this like super jump that's now got you a little bit messed up, right? So we'll go back. So Ryan, here is TP's in for Ryan, right? At this point, you just GA and cancel. GA and cancel, play here. Jiggle peek with your what's it called, your Sojourn. And then obviously if Kiri or like Ryan needs any help, then you can like do a boom boom, like a slingshot back in and out, okay? So just play around here. So play around here, helping, okay? Once like your Ryan starts to back off, you can then use another GA to get yourself like back here and play around here. Play around here, keep your beam on your like, you know, help people out because obviously, you know, your Ryan, Kiri's like not here basically because obviously she's TP'd in, so you need to help your Ryan a little bit more. Once Sojourn starts to peak, and then damage boost and still play like around here. Still help your Sojourn and stuff by playing around here. You can J yourself back in a little bit more because you sort of just want to be aggressive. You see how much like you can be with your Sojourn and enable your Sojourn right now? But Ryan isn't falling. You ain't gonna get that res off. Yeah, you're not getting that res off. You get it now. Nice. Keep going. Obviously, same thing with like the random super jumps. Okay, we don't need to do these because it's putting our GA on a cooldown and it's not helping us position any better, right? Remember, as the great Neandra says, okay, use use super jump to position rather than positioning, okay? So use it. Use your super jump to either position yourself onto a new high ground or use it to position yourself around a new wall or something like that, right? Don't be using it as you're positioning up here because this is not helping you in any way with your positioning right now, okay? Okay, so keep going. But see how like we can be just like so much safer and everything by just like playing around like the cover and stuff like that. That's fine how we're backing out. This is a nice valve. Ooh. Okay. This is a nice back. This is a nice valve. Okay, I like this back out. This is fine. I like this valve. With your Valk though, right? Because Ryan's gonna be going in for slam and this soldier's like pushed him. You want to damage boost the Tracer here. Go in, damage boost this Tracer to get rid of this soldier for you guys. And then you can go in and help. Because what ends up happening is you end up getting your Glock out and your aim is like a little bit, what's it called? A little bit not that great. Imagine if you were there to help damage boost that soldier. Sorry, damage boost that Tracer instead. Ryan's getting picked off. I like how you try to go for the res, especially like around the cover and stuff like that. It's just unfortunately it doesn't end up, you know, happening, and at least like Kiri's got Zuzu and stuff like that there for you. But we could have definitely picked off that soldier a little bit quicker if we just damage boosted the Tracer. So what I mean by my Overwatch team movement is bad. It feels like, I'm not gonna lie to you, Rose, I feel like you still kind of act like you have the Overwatch 1 movement a bit of the time. Right? Remember, we have the new Overwatch 2 movement and everything. Nice cover here, by the way. You have to kind of just remember that you still have that Overwatch, like, what's it called? You have that Overwatch 2 movement now. And you don't want to just be spamming the super jump. You want to be, like, using a lot of, like, the cancel GAs and using a lot of, like, the bunny hops and stuff like that. But, yeah. I backed off on the res as soon as I saw the Bastion. Yeah. I mean, like, because your Kiri has Zuzu, and if you communicated saying, you know, like pinged it, like, hey, I want a res, Kiri could have definitely tried to like help you Zuzu it. Now, I'm not saying help you Zuzu and you just stand completely in front of it like this. If you were able to get the res off behind the wall, I feel as though it would have been okay to start the res with a Zuzu and then go back around. But I've lost my train of thought. Hold on, give me a sec. But yeah. Anyway, so this is a 5 rotation because you know Zara's coming up. Lovely Zuzu and then again with your Kiri. Right. This is another one where it's like a random super jump, stuff like that. You essentially just don't want to kind of jump once again up into this like upwards thing again. GA and just because your soldier's here, you can just do a GA cancel and then bunny hop around this corner. Just once again to save your GA cooldown and not be out of it and stuff like that. But yeah. Keep going. Same again with the random like super jump. If we used like either a cancelled GA or we used like, some kind of like slingshot to get into your Sigma here or something like that, it would have been so much better. We would have been able to help the Sigma right now because once again it's the same thing where you're using that random super jump up into the air and then we're not able to help out. Okay. But it's nice. Obviously damage boost on Sojourn. Hey everyone, sorry, Twitch was having some issues, but we're back now. Let me just quickly rewind because I don't really know kind of like where we got up to with what's it called with it. I was saying how good that res was, and I wanted more reses like that. I don't know whether that ended up getting cut off. Okay, same thing again with like this random GA, right? We don't need to do that. We can literally just like play up onto here and just play like really like casually and stuff like that, playing just up here basically, out of the way, alright? We don't need to be doing these super jumps in, okay? Same thing with the Tracer here. We don't need to be going in to help Tracer here because we have Kiriko to help with that. And it's like Tracer's fault for getting picks off there, like overextending like that. So it's completely fine. Okay. So we end up rotating back, which is completely fine. The same thing again with the rotation. Do the thing, you know, like I said, looking down and looking away while you rotate like that. Obviously playing around the back, which is completely fine. Save your GA. Oh, okay. Whenever you hear Bastional, try to save your GA so you don't end up, what's it called? You don't end up using it soon as, okay? Because you using it as soon as Bastion uses his ult basically tells Bastion, hey, this Mercy ain't gonna have the GA on, like, you know, on cooldown to go and help you, right? So definitely just play back and just, like, wait for those, like, you know, ultimates to try and get to you. TMs are getting picked off. We're hiding away. He's just decided not to shoot you. I love it. I would have literally, if he doesn't see you, by the way, don't shoot at him. Like, unless if you know you can secure that kill, just sit here. Because what happens is either, oh, he'll see you and get you, in which case you can take the battle, or he could just be completely oblivious and just not see you, in which case you can, like, then go and, like, GA to someone else and stuff like that. Try not to draw attention to yourself unless you desperately need it, because then you can be in with, you can basically go and help with the storm then. But I don't think you guys are gonna win this. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. So gonna go into extra time, which is completely fine. I'm just gonna quickly skip it forward. It's very much kind of like the same things as I said the first time. It's just about timings. And I think the other thing as well is your super jumps. Is ego jump abuse in Overwatch 1? Yes. And I can tell. I can really tell, like, from your gameplay and stuff. Oh shoot, Mercy. I can definitely tell, like, from your gameplay that you were, like, just honestly play it on the ground as much as you can, okay? Anyways, I'll be damage boosting Widow as we're coming out here, because obviously Widow with, like, the fall off damage reduction and stuff like that, you need to try and help her here. And also you damage boosting Reaper is going to do nothing, because Reaper's not going to be, like, hitting anyone. You in reality want to be damage boosting Widow or Orisa. Widow wants to be your best one here, because obviously Orisa is going to have, like, what's getting lots of fall off damage and stuff like that. But anyways, keep going. That's obviously how we pushed up into helping damage boost Orisa now. Same thing again with this damage, this super jump. We just want to play our cover. Repairs are getting picked off. We're on Sojourn now, which is obviously, you know, better blue beam. Nice. I like how you ping it, but let's get these super jumps again, okay? Just use, like, I don't mind you super jumping, you know, when, like, your Sojourn went up and stuff like that. That was a fine one, especially, you know, just, like, try and help her, like, playing out here. As soon as that was done, though, just try to back yourself off, like, go and play behind these pillars, or just go and play somewhere else, basically, using that cover, rather than just hanging about like you are. We need to stay with Sojourn here. Like, your Moira is in with your, what's called, with your Orisa right now. So you need to help your Sojourn get this Alari as quick as possible, and then you can go and help your Orisa. Nice. Instead of damn, like, yes. Like how you tried to go in for the melee though, really nice. Just obviously just be careful and just go in and just damage boost your thingy instead. Damage boost here. Nice heals. Healing much spinning, which is completely fine. That's how we end up going round the point. Obviously it's an overtime now, so we have to be really careful. Nice. Go with your, yes. Love how you've been aggressive with your Echo now, which is really nice. Help Orisa. Very, very nice. Nice Valk. Really nice Valk. Really nice damage boost. Loving that res. That, by far, Rose, has been your best Valk so far. That was really, really nice. Helping your Orisa with the aggression. She ends up falling, but you, like, obviously, you know, you commit with the damage boost onto the ultimate, which is correct thing. Lovely res behind the cover. And we'll see what we end up doing. Do not fly back out here, though. Still play back here, okay? Because this rotation was beautiful to try and, like, play out of the way of the window and stuff like that. Jiggle peek it like this now. Like, peek it up and down like this, okay? Don't, because you going out into here is putting you in more space with the window and stuff like that. Play here. Let's keep going. You see as well how, like, us pushing forward like that is also going to get us, like, caught out by the Orisa roll, which is unfortunate. We don't want to do that, and I feel as though we're going to end up losing the fight, which is fine because it's not your fault, but I feel as though we could have definitely been a bit better with our positioning there by playing back and not going into the team fight as we were. Remember, with Valk, you have such long beams, right? So you can literally just play it as far back as you can and just chill, okay? So keep going. We'll keep going. So we have a Mei now and Ramattra. It seems to be changing it about quite a bit, which is quite funny. But we still have this Sojourn, which is our main blue beam. Very nice. They have that Widow, so obviously we don't want to peek it, like, whatsoever. Nice. Obviously, you know, play with your Sojourn. Same thing with the super jumps. Like, we don't need to super jump here because it's not going to help anyone. Right, remember, you have honor. So what's it called? You have honor to help here. So your best thing that you can do here is literally just to play with your Sojourn and just damage boost. Because what's going to happen is May's going to try and put up a wall and block people off, which is exactly what she's done here. She's blocked off the soldier and the Orisa. At this point, then you can go in aggressive and start damage boosting and stuff like that. But say these guys weren't antied and stuff, and bear in mind we are also healing an anti-target right now, right? They can literally be helped with what's it called? With honor, and you can just stay with your Sojourn. No, used to worse Overwatch 1, Overwatch 2, the flashy movement Overwatch 1. So imagine if I use a muscle movement versus 10 bumps, it stresses me out. Especially if they watch one Mercy movements come back. It's unfortunate, like, obviously not having to relearn. I feel as though I was okay because I completely changed my entire, like, key binds and, well, sorry, not key binds, but my button binds and stuff for Overwatch 2. But, it's unfortunate. We just have to, you know, like, start loading it and stuff like that because I don't think the Overwatch 1 move is going to come back. Although it would be nice to, but I don't think it will. But anyways, so I like this. It's completely fine. Okay, at this point, stay where we are. We do not need to move. We also don't need to move here because Honor's got a really good angle. So we stay up here and we play with Sojourn. We just stand here, play with Sojourn. Oh, they've been walled off. Oh, and our Sojourn drops to go and help, okay? At this point, yes, we can rotate, or we can stay up here a tiny bit longer if we want to. Up until basically like wall drops, we can stay up here and play with our Sojourn, okay? That's obviously helping May because she's already used Ice Block. That's obviously going back to your Sojourn. I feel so here that we're kind of like losing a little bit, which is completely fine. Nice. Okay, it's fine. You're going to go and help the remote there, but try and do it as a G8 in and out. I think that would suit me better if it's active 5 seconds, like we had mass res. Oh, see, I never played with what's called with like mass res or anything like that. Like I joined after all that kind of thing and stuff, so I could what's called. I've been using Valk like as how it is like to the day because I know obviously it's been amended quite a bit. Nice rotation back out. Obviously can't help Sojourn there, which is completely fine. Backing out. You don't need to get lamp here. You can literally go in aggressive with your ram, okay? Because I would have. It's nice that you're getting the lamp, but it would have. But like nobody's in the lamp, okay? So I would have definitely just gone in aggressive with the ram and just put your Oblivion on him, right? Because nobody's what's it called. Nobody's in the lamp here. I think definitely just go forward. Talk about the experimental pass with match res. I'm not gonna lie, I do not remember that experimental patch. We'll talk about it more after the thing, if that's alright. Anyways, obviously, Ramets have fallen. Do I just touch him? Really, really great. Okay, Rose. Let me start off by saying that you definitely know what you need to do. Like, apart from there's like a few times where, and it all comes down like to kind of bits of dodgy movement. Like, I think definitely try to get your movement a bit better. Like your, what's called your... Like, try to get more adjusted to the Overwatch 2 movement as much as you can, okay? But I think definitely that's fine. Reses, for the majority of the time, have been really, really great. Just kind of work on, like, our prioritization with that. Your biggest thing is your Valks, okay? I want you to pop that Valk a little bit later than what you have been doing. Because every single time your Valks have been a lot too early, okay? Wait for your team to push in or the enemy team to start pushing in and, like, wanting to be aggressive before you pop that Valk. So you can get that extra bit of, like... damage and like extra bit of like, you know, like stuff like that basically. So obviously there's that. But apart from that, Rose, honestly, really, really great VOD. And I feel as though all we need to do is just brush up on our movement and do that. I have questions to ask. Okay, Rose. Go on, what's your question? Let me have a quick sip of my drink as well, just while you ask. If the enemy Mercy Valks, is it okay to counter Valk? Yes, in certain scenarios. It depends on what your, what's called, stab reducing match. It depends on what your team has used. Like, for example, if the enemy Mercy Valks and you've used Nano and another ultimate, I would hold off using Valk until either the Nanos run out or the visors run out and it's still like an uncertified fire, okay? Because like it really depends. Like if the enemy Mercy is popping Valk because you guys are pushing in and you're popping Valk because like you're like defending off and stuff like that, that is completely fine. Because you've kind of had like the same mindset and stuff, and it's going to help even out the aggressions and stuff. Obviously, if your team's being aggressive with other ultimates and stuff like that, then if your team's being aggressive with them ultimates, then I think definitely hold off on the Valk up until that ultimate's been used. If they get picks with it, then obviously, one team fight, we can say Valk for the next fight. If the team's fight still looks maybe winnable and stuff like that, then pop the Valk, because then you'll have an advantage towards the later part. All you have to do then is essentially wait for the Valk to kind of end and you keep your team up. Then once the Valk's ended, then you have the advantage because you still have your Valk up and you still have that mass damage boost, in which case you should be able to finish off that team fight. But then obviously, if people fall over, then just like leave it, okay? But I hope that helps with that question as well, bros. Once again, thank you so much everyone on YouTube as well as on Twitch that have watched this. Once again, you can get your own VOD reviews, see for 5,000 channel points. I do them on my Twitch on Mondays, but I also stream on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays too. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all later. Bye!